Hello, this is Tom, aka Gedeon, here for Tabletop Tap Room. Today we are covering Mythic Games' refusal to ship or refund Darkest Dungeon board game unless Kickstarter backers pay more. Not a good sounding headline, but what it boils down to, the complaint is that between the war in the Ukraine and inflation, there has been a 600% increase in the cost of shipping and a 30% increase in the cost of materials, paper, cardboard, plastic, so on. Now, so what's going to happen is you either cough up more money or they'll leave your game in storage for as long as it can stay in storage in China. Which pretty much means when the Chinese are like, all right, listen, get your stuff out or pay for storage, and they're not going to pay for storage, then what will happen is the Chinese will just put it on an auction site and sell it off. So that's more than likely what will happen with the whole, well, we'll store it as long as we can. so it's what the breakdown in money is. Now let's just jump over to the Kickstarter. So this is the Kickstarter for the Darkest Dungeon board game by Mythic Games, Inc. The Kickstarter was run in American dollars, but the company is headquartered in France and the game is being printed in China. So we're talking globalism here at play, and that could impact options on people. But notice right here, the Kickstarter made, their goal was 300,000. They went 5.6 million. There were 28,842 backers. Let's just jump. We don't need to review everything that's in the game. You get it. These are games heavy in miniatures. Some of these miniatures are really cool. I'm kind of liking some of them. Let's jump over to RIS. So here's the thing with the game. You could have pledged 100. You could have pledged $1. Just be a torchbearer. I believe in this game. I'm throwing them $1. That's cool. There were 3,000 of these backers. You could have pledged 100, 150, 330 for the full total. Woohoo! Big package. But it doesn't matter what your pledge was. The shipping cost was flexible and you had to bear that completely. And I think that's an important note in considering this. And so they have these estimated shipping costs, roughly what they were going to be for these areas in the world. And in this hamlet and surroundings, I don't even know what that is unless that is the U.S. But so these were estimated shipping costs. You'd only know what your shipping costs were when the campaign completed. That's fine. The problem I have with all of this is that if the economy had gone the other direction, let's say there'd been a savings of 600% in shipping. There had been a savings of 30% on materials. You as the backer could not go back and renegotiate the terms and say, yo, refund. You got a savings, refund. No, the company would have said windfall and kept the money. They would have been excited about that. They could have, on their own choice, they could have said, hey, we just saved a ton of money on the shipping. Let's throw some refund at all the backers. They'll appreciate that. That'll engender, good feeling in our backers, and our next Kickstarter, they'll just jump on board. That would have been a possibility, but they were under no obligation because the deal is the deal. I agreed to back you for $100. You agreed to provide me with X amount of things. So what is my beef? My beef is that they said, look, It's the shipping and the increase in materials. So therefore, you got to pay more. That's my beef, because you're renegotiating the terms of the deal, and it's the deal's the deal. You honor the deal no matter what. And if they had just said, look, cost and shipping is killing us, there's been an increase, you've got to bear, just like you bore the cost of shipping, agreed to it before, it's now gone up. If you want your stuff now, you have to pay the increase. That'd be fine with me. But the fact that they're whining about the cost of materials, that has nothing to do with me. Okay, that is your beef. That's your problem. You said I will deliver X if you pay Y. I've paid Y, but now you want me to pay more. That's where I have a problem with this. It kind of reminds me of this little clip.
Calrissian, take the princess and the Wookiee to my ship.
You said they'd be left in the city under my supervision.
I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
So, maybe I'm being over dramatic, but if they get away with renegotiating the deal once, down the road when other projects come due, like for instance, this is Mythic Games' Solomon Kane. And right here about the product, it says this is a pre-order. We aim to print in Q3 of 2022. The product will likely be delivered in Q1 of 2023. So they're about to print here in the third quarter of 2022. What's going to happen? Cost increase. And so it's a pre-order. You've paid the money. They've agreed to deliver it to you. And suddenly it's like, we've got to alter the terms of the deal. Pray I do not alter it further, Darth Vader says. Once they get in the habit of doing it, I think they'll continue to do it. It just becomes standard business practice because they've got other stuff up and coming. And they're a company headquartered in France. And what do you do about it? In the old days, before the democratization of investing with Kickstarter and the crowdfunding programs, you only had backers who could pony up a check of $10,000 or $100,000 or $2.5 million. What happened then? And you're like, hey, deal's got to change. I can't give you your stuff. You got to pay more. Those types of backers had deep pockets. It would be nothing for them to cut a check for $5,000 to get a lawyer getting this moving in civil court. Okay. It would be nothing for them to do it. They'd be like, really? You think you're going to cheat me out of $2.5 million? And here it is. This is a $5.6 million deal, but the individual backers are $100 to $330. I mean, so are these backers going to cut a $5,000 check to get a lawyer going? And honestly, what venue are you going to sue in? Company's headquartered in France. You might have to fly to France and get a French lawyer and start it in French court. That sounds expensive to me. So even if you got the 28,000, we'll call it rounded up to 30,000. You got the 30,000 backers to all pony up $10. Well, that would be 300,000. That'd be more than enough. But still, I mean, we're talking somebody flying to France, lawyers. We are talking, who's going to do that? And how are you going to get in touch with all the backers? Because the company has the backers list. They're not going to give it to you if you're organizing a class action lawsuit. And ultimately, what are we really talking about? We are talking about like an extra $20 in some cases, a little more in others. Wouldn't it just be cheaper to pay it? That's probably what's going to happen. My issue is that the company seems to me to be acting unprincipled. And the next time, hey, we're going to lose out on this deal. Let's just alter the terms of the deal. And I think once you do it once, you get away with it once, you try to get away with it again. It's just how that works. And so that's my concern with this. So what is the answer to the average little guy backer like me? Don't back them again. That's your only answer. I mean, here in Maine, we have a story about a guy named Bean. And he was making a innovative shoe, the hunting shoe that he invented, and he was guaranteeing his shoes. But the problem was he got this adhesive that let go, and so everybody's bringing the shoes back, and it killed him financially. But he guaranteed his product. He repaired every single shoe and returned it, to the customers. And today we have a powerhouse brand that's headquartered here in Maine called LL Bean. And, and that's part of the LL Bean legend, is his reputation was more important than the fact he was going to lose out on a deal. There was no altering the terms of the deal. I'm selling this shoe for this amount of money. You bought it for this amount of money. I guarantee it. There's a problem. I'm fixing the shoe. Don't care that I lose money. And I wish that this company had simply said, look, changes in delivery fees are killing us. We cannot deliver at the price agreed upon. But the delivery fee was always on the backer. So we're coming to you for more money for the delivery fees. But complaining about the change in the cost of supplies, paper, cardboard, plastic, that's altering the deal. And you do it once, you'll do it again. And so I look at this with dubious eyes at this company now. They're not being principled, and I worry what the future holds with future deals with this company. So things are not looking good with Mythic Games. They have great looking board games. They have great looking miniatures in those games. I'm a fan of Solomon Kane. I mean, that game looks really fascinating, but I'm not going to jump on a pre-order where I might, Darth Vader, altering the terms of the deal. Pray I don't alter them further. Little bit sketchy there. So this is Tom from Tabletop Tap Room. Want to thank you for watching my video. Want to thank my subscribers. You guys are great. Keep on gaming, but consider what you do with spending your money with Mythic Games. This could be a change, a weather change in the gaming market with them.